decide that, hey, maybe we shouldn't play golf today, but I already dropped
but dude,
$1,000 to hold the tee times.
And also like once you commit to a scramble, why not?
It's it was tough. It made me a little sad. Cheers. Thank you for doing this. Made me a little sad.
But for the love of the sport, though, right?
For the love of the sport, but also, it's kind of the thing I do just to get all my buds together and like have beers and have a good time. Yeah. That's not the best beer holder. You could just put it on the ground.
Here's the thing. I play in a scramble every year, once a year, back home. I go with my buddies, and it's like, it's not an important thing, but it's so important to us because it's like the one time a year that we all
exactly
put everything aside just to get together.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know, I get it. Golf is awesome for that specifically too, because it's such an individual sport, but you need to do it with people for it to be worth it.
Yeah. The thing that sucked about it is usually after a heavy day of drinking on the golf course, I'm depressed because one, I'm hungover, but two, it's such a good time.
Yeah.
I had I'm just like, man, I wish I could do that every day. You have so much fun shooting
98,
This time I didn't really have the drive to get drunk because we're just constantly wet. And so
wet, like rain golf is so unless you're in Scotland, which I've never played in Scotland, but like I can only imagine that because like you would want it there, but like in Texas where I don't think I've seen it rain once like it did yesterday. It's not it's not.
The thing is, we kept keeping track. I kept keeping track of the weather. I'm like, okay, it's going to be done by like 9:00. We're good. We're going to tee off at 10:30. First group tees off at 10:30, and then it just starts dumping a little more. I'm like, oh fuck, we're in it. Like, all right, we're here.
By midday, it was like pouring.
Yeah, it sucked.
Why is this happening? Do you know? I'm not obviously like
I don't know.
Where are you from originally?
I am from Southern California. Grew up there.
Okay, so but that's more. Like Southern California has similar weather to this.
Somewhat. We lived in the valley kind of area, and yeah, we would get rainy seasons, and it was fine. But I left when I was 12.
Oh, okay.
So I've been here ever in Texas, in West Texas. When I lived there when I was 12 to
what's 17? Going on in West Texas?
That's where my dad grew up in Fort Stockton, Texas, and we didn't want to live there. They got tired of California, and so mom and dad were like, let's leave this place. While my brother and sister, they're all older, so they had their careers going for them. Like, yeah, we're gonna leave California, and so they picked Alpine, Texas. Most people are familiar with Marfa.
Yeah,
of course. Yeah, you can leave right now if you like Marfa. No, and so like growing up in a small town, had to get out. Wanted to go see what the world's about. Got into Texas State, San Marcos, like 30 miles south of here.
Texas State's in San Marcos.
Yeah. And
why did I think Texas State was right? No, it is in San Marcos. You're right. It's just outside of town.
And then just moved to Austin, that like everyone else does.
Like everyone else does.
So yeah, the point of this podcast is called Pints and Professionals. I interview interesting people in interesting industries, and I've always wanted to sit down and chat with you, but it's always been at a bar with tons of people.
There's so many people.
And
around.
It's like this, he's doing his thing. He's letting a rip on stage, and the last thing he wants to do is have a conversation with me about what do you do for life and what's music.
I do like having those conversations. It's really hard to do them.
Exactly.
Around any time there's a show, though.
Yeah.
Because it's mayhem.
So
and people are so drunk. Like just... Not us because we're working.
No, never you guys.
But like there are people who are drunk.
I was telling Jade and Rouse the other day at WTF, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, that, I love watching you guys kind of do these bars like Friends and Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, because I could tell you're kind of like just feeling things out. You're practicing, and you're like you're trying new things. And then when I go to a show at Antone's or Continental Club, I could tell that you guys polished it up.
Yeah,
like you worked the kinks out, and
nice
it's a very, very fun show to watch. Also, it's a very fun show to both shows, either Antone's or Continental Club. They're fun to be around, but those shows where you're just kind of just hanging out, messing around, those are fun to be at too.
I think those are more fun to be at. Like our Monday nights are my favorite show to be at. We play every Monday at Friends at 11 p.m. and we literally just rehearse all the songs that we're like, and we will fuck songs up and then restart them. Like it's very casual.
Yeah.
And it's really fun. And like you do it to an audience because one, what else are you going to do on a Monday night when you're a professional musician? Like nothing is the answer. So I may as well get paid, right, on a Monday. But
Right.
but the truth is, it's like a community bonding thing for us because we get to play and practice, and it takes the edge off, and then it's not that serious, and it's just really easy to get caught up in like, oh, I'm playing gigs in front of people, so I'm doing something well. But it's like there's a really big built-in system in this city for that. So it's good to play shows to no one and just be like, dude, like we're just a bunch of kids who are doing this and it's fun. So it really helps with that. So I would say that's the most fun show that we do because it's kind of like it's built to be super casual. But if we didn't have the Antone's Continental kind of esque stuff.
Yeah.
Then those shows would not be acceptable that we like if that does that make sense?
It does. No. Yeah. It really
There's
does.
a certain level of like balance that has to happen.
Yeah. How did you get into Friends? Let's even back it up even further. You're from Canada. You were
Montreal. Okay. Well, I was born in Ohio.
Okay. That's where I get confused because I've heard
everyone in my family's from Montreal.
Okay.
Born and raised in Montreal. Lived their whole lives in Montreal pretty much. And then there was a very short time period my dad had to move to Cleveland for a job. Like they lived there for like 2 years, I think.
Oh.
And I just happened to be born in that time period.
Okay.
So I'm Canadian through and through, just for the fact that I was popped out.
Are you telling me? Are you an illegal right now?
I'm super legal because I'm from here. I was born.
That's right. You were born here. Okay.
I was born with a social security number and then immediately left the country. So if anything, I kind of did the classic come to America to be born and then leave immediately.
Yeah. So you got that dual citizenship,
I have that
right?
dual citizen. Yeah.
Do people hate you in Canada now that you were born in America?
I don't think people really know. I don't think it's not. But yeah, I'm just like I don't feel American. I feel Canadian. But I like not to sound corny, but I kind of just feel North American. Like I feel like half of both. Like there's a lot about America that I really am like, yeah. And then there's a lot about America that I'm really like, definitely not.
No,
yeah.
Hey, come on, let's back it up. Yeah, I feel you. Yeah. So when did you pick up the guitar, or do you come from a background of musicians?
I don't. I picked up the guitar at like 17, like pretty late in the game. I'm 24 now.
God, you're so fucking old. That's terrible.
Yeah.
What made you want to pick up the guitar?
I was trying to impress a girl, or like I was trying to.
I think everybody who picks up guitar wants to impress somebody.
Yeah, it's kind of late in the game to be like, I'm gonna pick up the guitar to impress a girl. You do that when you're like 11 at camp. You don't do that when you're going into college, right? It's just like a little less.
Yeah.
So thank God I wasn't bad at it, because I feel like that would have made the whole story just like really lame if I was just terrible. And I was like, guys, look at this, and it was like, da, da, da.
You're playing the G and C and D chords.
Right. And then I don't know. I wanted to impress this girl, and
did it work?
No. Fuck no. Crazy.
And then
I think she's doing good though.
Okay. Well, hopefully.
I see her every now and then. She seems to like. If anything, it probably put me back in her good graces. Over time.
Sure.
She's like, he's not that bad. He's good at the guitar. Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a good guy.
And then, so when did you move from the north down here to the south with us?
In February of 2023.
Wow.
So it'll be 2 years.
Not that long.
No, it'll be 2 years in February.
When did you get what was the first bar you played in here in
first
Austin?
bar I ever played in was at Friends. It was,
okay.
I was supposed to do a gig at this place. I don't even remember the name, Cactus something, in like North Austin. And I had booked it before coming. I was like, I'm gonna book gigs in Austin. Easy. I'm gonna do it online. Easy. Get here. Guy was like, I don't even know who you are. I was like, fuck. I was like, this sucks.
Yeah.
So I just drove down here, and like the first gig that I was supposed to do, I'm like, the guy doesn't even know who I am, and I'm like, and not in like a who are you, like literally like we have had no communication that you're playing here kind of thing.
Right.
So like I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Who did I contact?
Did that imposter syndrome kind of set in?
I immediately was like, this was a mistake. This was a mistake. I don't even know what I'm doing. I felt like such a kid, because like this grown man was like, hey kid, I don't know who you are. Like, you're not playing here tonight. And I had basically just driven, I don't know. It was like a 6-day drive, right? So
yeah,
we stopped in Nashville and stuff. It was a great time. And then I was like, okay, I'm having an existential crisis. And I start reading this
At 24,
23.
you're
Well,
having
dude,
an
because
existential
I
crisis.
have my
Wow.
college degree, and then I was like, I'm gonna go do music. So I kind of was like, if music doesn't work, I've like really committed to it, and I would be really taking a step back. I will have lost time. So I was really I'm always stressed about like if music ends up not working, that I'm just kind of wasting my time. But
I still feel like that.
Yeah,
like
right?
I still
wanna
feel like
say-
I'm wasting my time doing video work.
I want to say that it's part of it's like the fact that it pays my bills, and it is like, and that's what I do, and that is my profession. It helps me feel like I'm not wasting time.
That's a pretty cool feeling.
Yeah.
Like you are, I mean, there's plenty of people who hate their jobs right now, but they're making, a lot of money, but they hate their life and they hate their job. And that's what keeps me kind of doing this is I have the freedom to interview people and create this show and go to shows to film. And I've come to terms with like, even if I am the creepy old guy filming shows,
Dude, you're like the most in shape person at all the gigs. It's like, are we wearing the same pants?
Did you get Amazon pants?
No, these are the Lululemon.
Oh, yeah, well, shit, dude, I'm not that bougie. These are Amazons.
They look really good.
Well,
though.
thank you. Yeah, for I think it was like $22. The first pair of pants that I bought online that
I just
fit.
realized, like on camera, we're gonna look like we're wearing the same pants. Hey, cheers to that.
But yeah, I've come to terms with the idea that okay, if I'm paying my bills with the camera, with what I'm doing, then that's happiness.
With the camera that's set up in your garage. That's
Exactly.
paying your
Yeah,
bills.
yeah. That's happiness to me, and that's success. So I think that imposter syndrome of what the hell am I doing with my life will always be there because it's been with me for the course of my 12-year career now, 13, 14. Anyways, but yeah, it's
You've
been a
at
lot
this for 14 years.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
14 years ago, I was 11.
Thanks for making me feel old.
First of all, does that math make any sense?
I don't.
I think I
probably
was 11.
not.
Yes.
But yeah, I've been doing this a long time, and it just every year I'm like, what am I doing? And then there's peaks of like success. I'm like, oh, okay, I get invited to do this job. I get to work with this client, and then that kind of leads me to believe like, okay, I'm doing something good. Something that I'm doing is working out. And one of the signs that made me feel so damn good is when you called me like 2 weeks ago saying that, Jacob wanted all the footage because he wanted to look at, himself on stage to basically like game film.
Yeah.
And that's something that you do,
we
right?
do that after every show.
And that's when I'm like, oh my God. Okay. So he is not that I didn't consider you to be taking it seriously, but those signs made me feel so good about working with you because I know like it's helping and it's hopefully going to, progress your career.
Yeah.
And that's something I really haven't heard of from other musicians. And that's
Watching
what
game tape.
Yeah, exactly.
I learned that from just playing sports though.
Sure. But same as me, but I just never heard that from a musician because when I film stuff, I'm like, oh, they're just using it to make them look good. They're not really studying the way they perform, the way they play guitar.
Yeah. Dude, the thing I love about your so especially when we do multi-camera work is that you catch the angles of me that are really good. And because you're moving in the shot, the energy that's in the room kind of is much more portrayed. But then the stills will come in, and it's like that's it. That is a unfiltered. That's as real as it gets. That's me on a still camera doing my thing. And sometimes I'm like, that doesn't look that cool. And so it helps me go like, you get so in your head on stage about how do I stand? It's just like, dude, you look stiff or you look like a hunchback or like something like that. And it's like, you don't always see that on the really sexy Instagram reels because you're snapping it from like down here.
Yeah.
And I'm like playing and looking all whatever.
And part of me, like when I see you do that stuff, I don't notice the difference. I don't know if it's awkward or cool. It's just Nico. And I hope that new people who come to your Instagram or whatever, however they find you, like that's what they're going to get at a live show. And that's, to me, that's cool. That's okay.
It's fun.
Like it's you, it's on brand. You're not trying to force anything. You're not trying to like,
certainly helped a lot with the imposter syndrome too of recently is like, someone said something to me and I was like, that's a bar. And they were like, I don't want to see what Nico Little's idea of a rock star is. Yeah. That's not what I've come to watch.
Right.
And I was like, that's a bar. Cause it's like, they're like, you're always like, I'm trying to portray a cool musician, cool, like, And that's cool. That's like, there's nothing wrong with that, because that is what's fun about it, is like there is such an element of just the performativeness. But what makes an artist, I think, is the things that innately like make them respond that are cool. So not what they're trying to show you is cool, but what they just kind of immediately give off.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
No, it does. Yeah. And so, wait, you played sports. What sports? Let me guess. Hockey?
No.
Damn
I was
it.
very bad at hockey. I played, obviously, golf. I play a lot of golf.
Oh, okay. We got to get you out on the leagues.
Yeah, dude. I'd love to go play. And then I played a lot of basketball, like a lot.
That makes sense. You are tall.
Yeah. And I was very into like the like, you know, like trust the process, like grinding in the gym, kind of working on dribbling drills and shooting drills. Kind of, I was really into that aspect of like, that's a whole community in the basketball community of just like guys who are just like gym rats in the, like just always putting up shots and stuff. And I got really into that. And so my work ethic for sports was kind of targeted towards that. And so it made me fall in love with like running drills and stuff. And then once I picked up the guitar, I translated all that into the guitar. And so,
what position were you?
I was like a shooting guard 3-and-D player.
Did you ever watch? Do you know what and one is? This might be before your time.
And one. No, what is
it? It was like a I don't know, like the WWE, or it was like the Harlem Globetrotters, but at like a street level.
Okay.
They had like characters, Hot Sauce, the Professor.
The Professor, I know.
Yeah. So
he's fucking nasty.
Yeah. So he's part of.
But he's like, that's the kind of guy. Like the Professor is like exactly the kind of guys that I was like, that guy's a gym rat, bro. He spends hours in the gym every day, just.
So during our high school career, we were all trying to come up with these wicked, layups, because we couldn't dunk. We were just doing stupid shit on the basketball court, so cool. And the coaches hated us for trying that stuff, but it was fun. But yeah,
you were a 90s kid, like basketball?
Yeah, I was born in 87, so graduate.
Yeah, like 2002, everyone's trying to be the Professor and Allen Iverson.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
I was 2 years old, by the way.
Okay.
But yeah, great time in history for sure. Very
was.
Cool time to play basketball, I will say. Like LeBron James is about to get in the league. Like Allen Iverson is the king. Kobe's like a young gun. That was a very fun time to watch basketball.
Yeah, I remember being vehemently wrong about LeBron James. I'm like,
kid's gonna suck.
I was like, oh, he's going straight from high school to the NBA. Yeah, he's gonna suck. We're not gonna hear about.
Kwame Brown,
exactly.
Yeah.
He's gonna be done within 6 months. Yeah, I was wrong about that. So how often are you practicing the guitar? Yeah.
Probably every day.
Every day. Okay.
Yeah, I would say likely.
What are you practicing? Are you practicing songwriting? Are you practicing
soloing?
Soloing?
I need to usually write one thing a day.
Okay.
Like every day. It's not much, but it's kind of like, if you like don't have your coffee, you feel off. Like if I need to put something out creatively. Or sorry, that beer's making me burp a little.
Carbonation.
Or else I feel kind of stagnant.
Yeah.
And it kind of just clears the gutters, like, because it could be nonsense, could be super terrible. And then I'll have like the scales that Greg Warnes tells me I need to practice.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Which I'm just like, send me whatever you have. And I've recently.
Do you have like a poster on the wall that everyone has with all the scales?
No.
Okay.
No, the other things I have on my walls.
You've grown past that?
Yeah. No. I never had a guitar teacher. I have my first guitar lesson next week, ever. Can you believe that?
Who's your teacher?
I don't even know.
That's fascinating.
I got his name. I got his recommendation. Well, it's just because he's a specialist. Like he's a specialty coach. And it's like I've never had a lesson, so I'm like I feel like there's so much.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, like I got myself here, and I'm like, yay, this is fun. Like,
right.
And now it's like, okay, well, if I really want to like do something and beyond, my songwriting is the thing that got me to this point. My guitar energy is what got but my guitar playing needs to be way, 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 way better. Like the energy and the performative aspect and the songwriting and the character and all the things that, don't require like knowledge on guitar. I think we have gotten pretty down tight. I just think
so too.
What?
I said I think so too.
If I could like really learn how how to be a musician now, it could help.
Dude, that makes me feel even better about working with you, because you're taking your first guitar lesson even though you're ripping it on stage.
Yeah, I'm certain. Yeah, and because I just think there are so many guys that I look up to in this city that are just absolute behemoths guitar players, and they've been playing forever, and they always practice, and there's a guy named Trent Morgan. He's a ex-doctor who has since quit being a doctor to pursue music full time. So in my head, this guy is like the coolest guy, because one, something I could never do, become a doctor, get my medical degree. That is impossible. So he does that and then does it and then goes like, fuck that, I'm going to do music. And he rips. Is
he in Austin?
Yeah, he's an Austin guy.
Okay.
And I'm going to see his coach because he, like, dude, this guy blows me out of the water. Like, he rips. And it's just like, it's a lifestyle. It's not like, he's way older than me. He's like probably closer to your age. How old are you?
37.
He's like 35 or something like that. 32, 33. I don't know.
Age is just a number.
Age is just a number. But the point is, what he told me, it's because a lot of these guys are older than me. So they like, my wisdom ends up coming through you guys who have that decade on me of just like, we've tried, or, I wish I had done my creative thing at 22 instead of 28, which is like what I end up hearing from most people. Mm-hmm. So Trent is like, you gotta, like, it's a lifestyle. Like, every day you gotta get better a little bit, and it's like you're a craftsman. It's not like there is never a point where you can stop learning. Unfortunately,
amen, brother. Yeah,
because it's like you're a creative you're a creative with a craft, so you have to learn as much as you can about the craft and then push it. So yeah, and like if you switch that mindset.
I'm really excited to see what you can do with some guitar lessons, because it's like, for me, it's like the game of golf. I thought I was pretty good and I felt stagnant, and then I started taking lessons and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm missing this connection with my body and the club face, and I would have never found that out had I not seen a coach.
Because you don't even know what you don't know.
Exactly. Yeah.
I have no idea what I don't know yet about the guitar.
And within 2 or 3 lessons, I shaved 5 strokes off my overall score, and I'm trying to tell my friends, like, hey, I know it sucks, but take a Saturday off, don't play around, go see a golf coach, and see how much better you're going to progress.
Dude, and then you start getting into that. Start watching the YouTube videos. Start
self-diagnosing.
Your TikTok starts getting different. You're like, what's going on? Everything's a swing tip.
Yeah. You
start looking at your friends, you're like, that's wrong. It's like, get a load of this guy.
But no, it's really exciting to hear that you're also you're seeing Ronnie, right?
Yeah, I see Ronnie's my vocal coach.
Yeah, dude,
I see him at least once a week.
And that guy's a great singer. I'm like, oh my god! And he played the organ at
he plays keys for us.
And that was a fucking wild show. That was a great show. And then you said you were taking vocal lessons from him. I'm like, I had no idea. I think you sound pretty good already. But now you're.
When I moved here, the guy who manages Friends, this guy named Tommy Berghardt.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of like a Clifford Antone type. Like,
okay.
I'm not gonna give him that comparison because that would be way too steep. But I will say that he is certainly crafting and developing artists in a very similar manner in downtown Austin.
Okay.
So there you go.
That's good.
And he's the first guy. He put me up. I got a job from him. He was. And then one day, after my first show at Friends, my first like big Saturday night show, I get off stage and I'm like, he's like, dude, you suck at singing. You need a vocal coach immediately. Okay. And I was like, I still am not that great of it. Like, I can sing now, but like I was not good back then.
I've noticed a progression.
Yeah,
it's absolutely. It's getting better and better.
Yeah. So, yeah. And so he put me in contact with Ronnie, and now I just go see him all the time.
From an insider's perspective, are musicians here in Austin are seeking out, coaching, seeking out
I really hope they are. Like, but dude, if you watch any how many coaches Scotty Scheffler has?
Oh yeah, tons.
1 putter, 1 for chipping. Like, they have like 9. Like, that's how you got to do it,
right? Yeah, that's also an investment, but it's an investment in your craft and your career.
First of all, it's a tax write-off. Boom.
Oh, there you go.
So that's fine. And if you're your own business, you're trying to start like you can expend anyway. I shouldn't be the one.
It's not legal advice or financial advice. Don't get to go see your CPA.
Yeah. Don't listen to me. But you're allowed to invest in yourself, especially in Texas.
Yeah.
And then there's that one. And then another thing that I always think is like, these coaches, the network that they probably have too, is immense because they're such high level coaches.
Yeah.
So like. And I find coaches are so real with you. Like, I'll ask Ronnie something, and he'll just be like, "No, dude. Like, what are you, dumb? Like, my bad. That's on me, coach. My bad." Hey, see what I mean? Like, it helps keep. Because if not, dude, if you don't militarize it a little bit, it doesn't make any sense, and it's too easy to be too loose.
Yeah, it's really easy to get lazy in the creative field, and I think having that sense of imposter syndrome kind of keeps you level-headed and keeps you honest and keeps you working.
Dude, yeah. And especially it's like your imposter syndrome has to be able to dance with like how bad you want it.
Yeah.
Because it's like someone else with imposter syndrome is going to come do it anyway.
Right.
Like, it's not because you, like, they'll also have imposter syndrome, but they'll still come do it.
That anxiety keeps me kind of just trying to stay busy. It was this month that I realized, okay, I just need to, this whole evolution of this garage, it was falling apart. And yeah. So
it looks really good.
Well, yeah, now it does. There's going to be more additions. There's going to be a couch that's going to be coming in 4 to 6 weeks. A really nice couch.
4 to 6 weeks.
First brand new couch I'll ever get in my entire life.
No,
I paid an arm and a leg.
Persian rug?
Yeah, so I bought the rugs. They're super easy, rugs.com, whatever. But this whole
little rug plug.
Yeah. So this whole evolution is like, I need to spend more time editing and filming, even though I already consider myself pretty busy, but I wanted to.
I feel like you're swamped.
I am. Yeah. I needed to double down just because I felt like a little bit lazy in my creative endeavors. I also felt really like there's an anxiety of when I get online and social media and everyone is pumping out great videos.
Dude, every day.
Every day. And it's like, okay, if I'm...
It's also like you start to notice it. Like I went on, like when we dropped Train Song, I posted a ton and my engagements like skyrocketed.
Yeah.
Because we were posting twice a day every day for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then now it's like slowed down a little bit and it's just like, boop. So it's just, you really got to play the game.
You do have to play the game, but in your own time. Like when Train Song came out, like, yeah, that's a good time.
I completely agree with that.
Right.
I don't think social media is as strong. I don't think it's as powerful as people think in terms of its translation to your career. I think it's such an important facet, but
it's a tool.
It's a tool that you have to grow into.
Yeah.
Like unless you're a content,
and treat it as
content creator. If you're a content creator, then this doesn't apply to you. I think personally. Because that's your domain.
Yeah.
Right? So like if you're trying to make videos or skits or comedy on stuff, that's your domain. But in music specifically, like you got to earn the trust of the listener.
Yes.
You got to earn the trust for them to come buy tickets to your show. And I think there's a lot of people that'll be really big online, and then I'll go out to watch them play when they come through Austin, and it's like not that exciting. And it's like, well, have you been able to make that connection last? And I just think it's like because they're too busy playing that game and not living the other game enough.
I think I saw that a little bit at ACL. There was a band that was up on stage and I'm like, who the hell are these guys? I've never heard of them, yet they have such great production. They got the lights, they got the smoke machines and everything. And I'm like, I don't feel anything from this music. And it's like, it was God, I forget their name, but they were playing at the main stage, and I'm like,
all right, let me drop them and talk shit about them.
I would love to, because they were, and I looked at one thing that kind of like made me think of like, why are they deserving of this main stage?
Well, they also could be like, that could be the 15th show they've done in a 2-week span that their labels thrown them on. So it's just like there could be a.
But what pissed me off was like, oh yeah, we're headed back out to LA next week to write our first album.
Oh, our first album.
And they already had that stage, yet they haven't even written a full album. Maybe I'm wrong in that, hey, maybe the album should come before you get to play the stage.
Were they good?
No, they weren't entertaining.
Old were they?
I don't know. I wish I knew their name, and I was even talking shit about them to Lauren. I'm like, they haven't even fucking written an album, yet they're playing this main stage. There's so many other people that I know here in Austin that are well deserving of this stage because of
I mean,
guess
I'm so happy Rickshaw got it.
Oh,
I'm
dude,
so
they were.
happy.
That was the only reason we went to ACL this year was to just go watch them. Yeah.
They like when I tell you, I saw that they got it, and I was like,
it was
they
such.
fuck so hard.
Yes,
bro.
they do.
So
They're
cool.
really good. They keep the same energy regardless of whatever show they're
Bro,
playing.
Oh my god!
And at ACL, like they worked up because they have a good following because they're authentic, and all the fans came to that show, and they were doing a fucking mosh pit.
Unreal. Those that bum 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 bum.
How would you describe their sound? I think they're a mix between like Weezer's Blue album and like Danzig, all encompassing. It's just that fuzziness, that warm fuzzy feeling, yet that
I don't know,
heavy
drop,
tone.
The tuning on the guitar that Leo's playing is like so. So it's like, but it's also like super pop punky as well. So I don't know. Again, very Austin of them to mix two genres like that.
Right.
In the way that works.
It's brilliant.
It's so heavy. It's almost like Limp Bizkit. Almost like it's like so heavy, but it's like upbeat. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so
Dude,
good.
it's chunky. Like those riffs are chunky, bro.
Going back to the band that I felt didn't deserve the main stage, and I guess kind of going on a tangent now, what I want to ask your professional opinion about Jack White, because I have a bone to pick with him.
You have a bone to pick with Jack White?
Yeah.
I mean, he just played Continental.
That's why I want to pick the bone with him. It's because the price point. It was a $150 ticket to get into Continental Club.
Okay.
It was a $150 ticket
that's crazy.
to get into Mohawk as well.
So our Continental tickets were $20, and then the Mohawk tickets will be $25.
Are you allowed to say that on?
Well, whatever.
Okay,
yeah.
it's coming. It's literally going to come out tonight. This podcast.
So
yeah,
we'll skip it. But
okay.
Yeah, we won't
Anyways,
dig into that.
yeah. But what how do you justify that? Because Continental Club is.
I love that he did it though. I love that he did it. I love that Leon did it. My professional opinion is that it helps our stock a ton.
Because of the venue that he played at.
The by proxy association. Okay, hold on. I hit the fucking pen too hard. My bad.
Is it of THC or just of nicotine? I'm not doing that. I still have to function
Time
after
to play
this.
the game.
I medicate at night.
Nice.
Yeah.
Leon Bridges doing 3 nights at the Continental makes playing at the Continental so much cooler. Jack White showing up the morning of and saying I'm playing at noon, it just makes the Continental so aura is such a terrible word because people say it online, but the mystique of the place of like it's kind of like the mothership. You never know who's going to drop in. Is it going to be Jelly Roll? Is it going to be Dave Chappelle? Is it going to be Tony Hinchcliffe? Is he going to talk about Puerto Rico? You don't know. You're excited. I'll tell you what, you're excited.
Every time I go to Comedy Mothership, I'm
fucking
very
excited, dude. I'm excited because I'm getting a show. There's no way I'm leaving there. I will be entertained. I'll tell you that.
I'm also very jealous you met the shaman there.
I did
God.
meet. Yeah, you're a big. No, I met him at Sunset Strip.
They always say you don't meet your heroes. Was he a fun guy to meet?
I didn't know who he was until he went on stage. I'm not a huge podcast guy.
Fair.
But I do love Shane Gillis.
Oh.
And then I watched. So we played dice. We were playing dice in the green room.
And you didn't even know who the fuck he was.
I knew he was like. I knew he was.
You knew he was a comedian.
I knew he was a comedian.
Okay.
I don't watch Shane's podcast
Okay.
now I do.
Okay.
Yeah, we're talking about Matt McCusker, by the way. He's a very funny guy.
He's
a cool
very
dude.
funny.
Yeah.
No. Going back to Jack White. So I get that he elevated how cool it is to perform at Continental Club. Continental Club is a very cool.
Yeah, that was
venue.
that's a big ticket.
It's also very hard to film in, by the way. That and Sea Boys, my God,
same owners.
Owners, do something better about your lighting. No,
it's very dark in there.
It's very dark.
It's kind of cool though. Sea Boys, it's really cool how dark it is.
It is very cool, but it's very hard to film in. And I'm like, God, this image just looks like shit because it's so dark.
It's so dark,
and it's very hard to move around. Which I'm okay with.
That's part of the allure, though.
Exactly, and it helps me like kind of navigate things, and it's better for me because it's very hard to film it. Anyways, it ends up being a better product when I go to other venues.
Isn't it kind of crazy that there's clubs in this city, like clubs, that have live music and get packed out like a club would in like New York City for what is a DJ?
Honestly, I've never thought of it like that.
I think that's so cool. That's why I love how dark it is in there. Like C-Boys is kind of sexy. C-Boys, bro, like when I go watch like Grooveline Horns in there, first of all, the girls are like, not that, but like, it's really cool. It brings this whole like, damn, this is live music. It feels so like a blast from the past in a way that is like so awesome.
Yeah.
That's why I love how dark C-Boys is specifically. Now, I don't have a camera, so I can see how that's an annoying problem for you.
It is just like in trying to set up a back camera because it's so narrow. And there's a lot of logistics things that I have to work out in my brain in order for me to deliver a good product. But anyways, back to the price points. As a fan,
unacceptable.
Okay, thank you. I feel like I saw him play at a bigger venue downtown years ago, like 2018.
Moody Amphitheater, right?
Yes,
2nd Street?
Yeah. Tickets, me and my buddy Sal went there for like
probably.
no, it was even cheaper than that. It was like 32 each. So I paid 75 total, all the service fees, whatever.
Here's my hypothesis.
Okay.
He did a show at Mohawk unannounced. Had Die Spitz open for him. That's sick.
Okay.
Do you know who Die Spitz is?
No, I do not. Are they good? I would assume that if they're opening up.
Four girls from Austin. I think they're 18 years old.
Oh wow.
Heavy death metal.
Okay.
Like.
My wife would love them, probably. She's into death metal. So you got to check them out.
When I say death metal, I mean like my favorite song by them is I Hate When Girls Die. Like that's...
That is very
These
metal.
girls are sick. And so I thought that was awesome that Jack White had them open for him.
So he picked a local band to open up for him.
I don't know if he picked it, but he okayed a local band.
Yeah. He has to... I would assume,
someone in his team okayed them, and that is sick because they're so cool.
Got it.
And then... So he's deciding to play these smaller venues, making the smaller venues, like really giving back to the economy of Austin, right?
Sure.
Because he's not doing it at the Moody Amphitheater. This is promoting local bands. This is promoting local venues, which is super important.
Okay.
And he's probably throwing away a ton of overhead and money that he could have made by playing a bigger stadium, and so that's why they're charging more.
Okay.
And I want to say that there has to be a point where the label goes, "You can do this, but you can't make us lose money."
Yeah, but he owns his own label too.
That's true, doesn't he? Doesn't he do that?
That's the thing. That's okay.
God damn it, Jack! I was trying to back him.
I was
digging deep for him.
Yeah,
dude.
that's why I was like, okay, he's very prosperous as a musician. He's done very well for himself.
He has.
If you're gonna, in my mind, if you're gonna do a surprise show at the Continental Club, keep tickets $20 until it sells out. And then after that point, whatever, because obviously I don't think he needs the money. But if I were a famous musician and I had this big following and I've worked my ass off, and if I could just throw whoever's available at 11 a.m. on I think it was a Tuesday, hey, come check me out. You're going to get a $20 ticket. You can only buy it in person, in line, and then you're going to go in the show.
I still love that they do that, by the way. That's so cool.
And that's cool too. But like I had to, as entrepreneur, business owner, I have the availability to do that. And thankfully I had, money to buy that ticket, but I was like, no, I'm not going to pay $150 to go see. This is ridiculous. That's way too expensive.
That seems like, I want to say that's too expensive. That's more than I would pay for a ticket at Moody.
Right.
I want to say.
And
I don't know how much a big ticket is at the moment. I have become very, thankfully, I get a lot of free tickets to Moody, so I haven't bought it.
That's awesome.
Yet.
I'm trying to think of I paid $80 to go see Tom Waits in El Paso. That was when I was kind of broke and still in college, but I was going to make the drive in my '94 Honda Civic from Midland, Texas, all the way to El Paso, and do it in one night, and it's like a 2-hour drive. But I think that
$150, dude. I want to say I paid $300. It was like $350 for a day pass at Crossroads.
Oh,
but that's Crossroads.
But you're seeing
$150 for an hour at Continental.
Yeah, that's much. That's a
like
little
almost
high.
half the price of a day pass at. That seems like like I know that those are both insane numbers, but like why can't can we go back to the 2080 thing? $80 for a show, $150 for Moody, $80 for Moody Amphitheater. Like I'm not like I'm using those just for like capacity sake.
Yeah.
Not, like for that size for a stadium, and then for the amphitheater we have like the $80 and then for a continental show, keep it under 30, bro.
I like
or 40 max if you're like a huge deal.
That's good too. I would stand in line at 9 a.m. when he dropped the tickets, when he dropped the release. I would have stood in line for like $50.
Is this just inflation, dude? Is this
No, it's not inflation. No, that's well. Again, I don't know.
Too young to know how bad it was.
I'm too old to know. I'm too old to care.
Someone told me Reagan 2 is coming. In the 20s are going to be like the 80s.
Whoa, there's a lot of jokes to be made there, but I'm not going to make them. But yeah, in the economy of the music industry as it stands now, how do you feel about Spotify?
Pro and against.
Yeah, it seems like a good model. And
I'm super against how I'm against the way that they have monopolized music.
Yeah,
but I'm not against what their product is at all. And I'm not against how
it's
they
a good
pay
product.
I'm not against how they pay their artists. Like I know it's not enough. I know it's not.
You're not against it, okay? What are they paying artists? Like for every million stream, you get 50 cents, or
yeah,
or
like
what's
not enough? But they're also like the trade. I think the trade off is not like it's not 1970. Like no one's going to buy your record for a physical copy. The game has changed. Okay, so if that's true, then the actual people listening to your music has now become not as important for the product, which is a huge problem. And that is why Spotify is not good, because you're not getting paid for the music, and the music is almost becoming a marketing tool for the product, which is you.
Right.
Which is weird, and that's not how it should be.
Yeah.
However, I can get my music to every person on the planet tomorrow if I wanted to. Like, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And the analytics they have are unbelievable. And they actually give you a fighting chance at knowing this is who's listening to my music, this is who's not. You know, this is who's not. Stop trying to convince them to listen to your music.
Right.
Start convincing them to really listen to your music.
Yeah.
Because then they'll tell their friends, and then suddenly you have people, and I don't know. I'm getting a little intense about it, but like I just think there is a bit of a victim culture in music. It's like, dude, you're not owed streams. You're not owed anything.
Ooh.
Spotify is going to tell you exactly what's going on. Like, it's clear as day. It's right there.
Right.
So
okay.
And they also have metrics to boost your stuff. You can like they now have all these campaigns that you can run, and I don't know. I think they're starting to, like, the whole game has changed. Like, how is anyone supposed to know? How are they supposed to know? They went from being a player to the most important player in the music industry in like 4 years. Like, we can't really blame that. Like, it's on us as the consumer to have been like, well, that's the easiest way to listen to music. That's how we're gonna do it now. And then we were like, guys, what the fuck? Like, they were not ready.
It is. Do you remember CDs?
Yeah, I do.
I don't know. Yeah.
No, but can you imagine CDs? The day CDs became the thing, I bet the VHS guys were like, this is the worst.
Right, yeah. It was more like cassettes.
Yeah, sorry. VHS is for my bad.
Kind of in the same realm. But yeah, I remember like...
The cassette is the VHS of the years.
Pretty much. I remember because living in a small West Texas town, there wasn't any record shops or music shops, so I'd have to go... we would visit our family in California, and my brother-in-law would take me to Amoeba Music in LA, and I'd buy like $300 worth of CDs, and I was like, oh, this is so cool. Look at the artwork. And then at some point, I stopped buying CDs. I don't remember when, but then I got on Spotify. I go, oh, Jack White just dropped a new album. I can listen to it right now. I don't have to go to the store. I can just listen to it right now.
Yeah.
And so how do musicians make money now? Like, if Spotify is giving you the exposure, how do you create that, that ROI back to you as a musician?
We make money on merch and like, so like playing shows, tickets, bar shows and merch.
Okay.
I'll do private events too, but like, that's just like whatever. But
So it's more so about playing, and that's how you make your money.
I mean, that's why I do it.
Yeah.
Like, I love writing music and stuff, but like, the shows are what matters. I think it could be a personal thing. I think that can differ from artist to artist.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not like it's not like the shows are what matters. Like to some people, strictly what they do online is the creative part for them, and that is their connection with their audience.
And that's good too.
You're right. That's not what my thing is. Like I'm a live music. I'm a jam band guy. Like that's our realm. Like it's very psychedelic and so you have to kind of be in the moment to like really experience it properly.
Did those tequila shots I bought you at
Those
WT?
suck. Those suck.
I shot it for myself. I'm like, oh, I feel
First of all,
so
dude,
bad.
There was no like the counter opposite of last night's show. The weather in Austin has been a problem because it's cold. There's no heaters on the stage at WTF. So
that
we
sucks. Like what the
freezing. My guitar kept going out of tune. And then last night there is a heater directly above the stage at Friends, and my earpiece got melted and got stuck in my ear. I had to go to the hospital to take it out.
You wear in-ears?
No, I had like a protector.
Oh,
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
So it melted the shit out of
The
it.
wax part, and it's got stuck in my ear. Yeah.
And you had to go to the emergency room to get it out.
It banged up my ear is very sore right now.
Oh,
It banged up
my
my ear. Yeah. They were like till 6 a.m. There's like 3 doctors. Thank you very much, by the way, the doctors at the university hospital, the one that was open 24/7,
Okay.
because they got that thing out of my ear.
Did you play the entire set and then like had to go, or did you quit mid-set?
No, I finished the
Alright.
set and then just
Mama didn't raise no quitter. Good.
yeah, and then I was just like, yeah, I went up to Tommy and I was like, hey, I got my thing stuck in my ear, and he was like,
Again?
yeah, no, he was like, you'll be fine, and I was like, all right, and then I was like, I'm gonna just go to the hospital.
I'm sorry about the tequila shots. I should have not.
Oh no, dude,
given
they
it-
were like, it was fine.
No, it was terrible.
No,
it
it was terrible, but it
I almost
was
threw
the
up in my
right
mouth.
it was the right time to do a shot.
And it was the first time I bought you guys drinks. I'm like, oh man, that's not gonna go over well. And then I saw Jade's face, and it
you know what? Here's the thing. Who's calling me? Oh, my dad's calling me. I'm just gonna
Hold on.
hold up. I
Oh
do need
my
to check my phone. Okay, Josh Allen touchdown, and I am winning my fantasy football game. right now.
Are you making the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the I have made the playoffs.
See, that's how bad I am at fantasy right now. I don't even know if we're in the playoffs. I'm just.
DJ Moore, bro, how do you have 3 points at halftime, dude? What? George Kittle, how do you have 15 points at halftime? No, 12 points.
Well, because they don't have Christian McCaffrey anymore, and I think they're
Honestly,
struggling
man,
a
when
little
I
bit.
say a poor guy, bro, like that guy
Yeah,
can't catch a break.
yeah,
man.
that's the nature of the game.
God, if you know how much I've wanted to talk fantasy football on a podcast, not that that's what this podcast is about.
I think.
The
Well,
problem about having me on a podcast is that Ramon, you and I are friends, so it's like
yeah,
it's like,
we could sit here all day.
It's just we just talk till the cows come home.
See, the thing is, I used to be really into football because I was a Cowboys fan. And then I just got tired of devoting 4 hours every Sunday to watching a team continuously disappoint me.
Bad year for you guys.
It's been a bad
year.
couple years. I stopped watching them like 2022, I believe. And since then, my life has gotten significantly better because I'm no longer a moody bitch after they lose game after game. And so until there is new ownership, meaning that Jerry Jones has to move on from this world, I just don't want to entertain the idea of the Cowboys. But I do enjoy football. However, I'm not that into football as much as I used to be.
Yeah, I'm as into football as I've ever been.
Good.
It definitely helped. My brother was a diehard Cowboys fan. Like,
Oh, bless his heart.
yeah, so dude, I've watched this man. I mean, he was a boy when it happened, but like Tony Romo used to break this guy's heart.
Broke my heart. That's how. Yeah,
Jack,
it
my
toughens
brother
you
Jack,
up.
Like I'm sure he doesn't like ever being spoken about, but I will say this because he's like not a very public guy, but this kid has learned pain watching Tony Romo, bro. I've seen it, dude. Interception, 4th and 3, just beat Eli Manning once, man. I was watching it
Yep.
year after year after year.
first Seattle or that first playoff game against Seattle, that was tough to swallow.
With the
fumble.
The fumble.
Yeah,
Oh,
I went to Seattle, or I went to.
that was it. That would have been it.
I went to the stadium. I'm like, yep, that's where my heart got broken, right there on that 20-yard line.
20-yard line.
Oh God, to win the game.
Here's the thing, though, Jerry Jones, man, like
brilliant marketer, 100% brilliant marketer.
Like, it's clearly worked for him over time. The cheerleaders and everything, like the brand is.
How has it worked for him? Okay, I'll take that back. I don't know how he got 3 Super Bowl champips.
I don't know
back
how he
in the
made
90s.
his money though. So I actually
it was
know nothing
through
about
through oil. I think he started an oil company, but when he bought the Dallas Cowboys, they were a shit team, like 1 in 15. Yeah, 1 in 15.
Whoa.
My dad he's still an OG. He's followed them ever since, so he's been through those down seasons. And I forget, like 2 years ago, after the last playoff appearance, it was against the Niners when they had Ezekiel Elliott blocking for literally the entire offensive line. I was like, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. And I told my dad, I'm sorry, Dad, I can't watch this team anymore. He goes, I get it, son. You're just a big old pussy.
Yeah, well,
you haven't seen anything yet, son.
it's just, it's been bad this year.
This year,
why did they commit to anyway?
Again, Jerry Jones is a brilliant marketer. He's not a good team manager.
Zeke is back, and
why? Because of comedic effect.
Yeah,
you like that he's
him and Zach. Sorry, are like it's like the sequel that no one wanted, bro.
Right. That's the best.
But
way
imagine
to
how
describe
cool
it
it would have been if it worked, though. Like, imagine how fun if you guys were 8-2, or sorry, no, we're way later in the season now. Imagine you guys were like 11 and
stop
2.
saying you guys. I don't associate with them anymore.
Texans.
I broke up with them, but I just feel like
I'm a Browns fan, by the way. Let me
good
just
for
get
you.
that.
That's respectable. That's respectable.
Jameis Winston is making this year so fun.
Have you watched? Are you on HBO Max?
I've been watching their Hard Knocks.
It's good. I love that. But
shit.
I would.
See how many coaches they have though? That's where I'm getting all that shit. Like that's where I'd be watching it and getting it from there.
And we bring it back to music.
You see how many coaches they have?
And look at the Browns now.
Yeah.
3-9.
Yeah, but they're on an upward trajectory.
I will say with that franchise, it's like anytime you win a game, it's like, okay, we're
fun. We win 3 Super Bowls a year. Like, think about that. You know how fun that is for us?
And they're not tearing down the city. I get it. I want to be a Browns fan.
You win a game. It's the big when we beat Pittsburgh. My feed was just on fire.
Okay, so as a Browns fan, how do you take criticism from a professional musician level? So the Browns fan has led you to a bunch of disappointment. I feel like that has prepared you for the critics.
I'm not because I grew up in Canada. When the teams lose, it's like it doesn't gut me. The only thing that's ever really devastated me was when the Montreal Canadiens lost in the finals. Mm-hmm. So when Cleveland's been bad my whole life. I've seen them win 1 playoff game against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
Jack with no K.
Yeah.
There you go.
But yeah, how do you take criticism in the creative field? Is it good? Is it bad? It's like where's the source coming from?
I certainly aggressively ask for feedback from the people that I trust.
Yeah.
I usually take criticism pretty strongly. Like I try to change. I don't like. I let me think about how I want to answer this real quick.
So when I the criticism that I used to get was from a former boss who was like, he would say the worst thing. He's like, this is fucking absolutely garbage, Ramon. What the fuck were you thinking? Like in verbatim. I go, I don't know. I'm just putting video together. He's like, you don't use songs that the client doesn't request. You don't do this. You don't do that. I'm like, all right, fine. But I felt like, okay, he's right. And I'm just going to take that with a grain of salt. I'm going to process my emotions and I'll do the corrections. Now that I own my own company, it's about okay, whatever the client says is what it is. I'm not going to put any emotion into it.
Yeah.
I'm like all the creative endeavors that I put in, or the creative energy I put into this video, I can't be attached to it because it's
think
not
that
mine.
makes you-
It's their video.
I think that makes you like the most pure. Like that's like, I think that's real like being a real creative is especially when you're doing something for someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Are you able to tap into the creative ether? Are you a creative enough that you can go boop boop? Like that's what they need creatively. I'm not going to attach myself to it. I can just do it.
I'll do that, and then if they say they don't like him, like okay, that's fine. That's fine.
That's what you grabbed at that point in time for that video. That doesn't make it wrong,
right.
I just think that's what makes it. That's what makes you a creative. Is that okay? You looked at it. You're like okay, but like you problem solved it in the creative realm, and then brought it to them. It's a little like I'm not. It sounds like super like voodoo and like, but that's what it is. That if you get too attached to a project that you've made creatively, it is because you don't trust the project. I actually think that's like people who sit on stuff and never release it or never trust it's because you don't trust the product. So yeah, I don't think there's anything they're like criticism is to actually tie it back together is you got to trust yourself to have to get better. Mm-hmm. Like you can't lie to yourself about what you are supposed to know.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Just because you don't know something doesn't mean you're like, you can be the most amazing at 9 things and that just get better at the 10th then. Like, why not? And then get better at the 11th at some point and then the 12th. And
my thing is a little bit different because if the client says it's great, awesome. If they say, hey, we need something changed, that's fine too. But with you're creating everything that you're putting out into the world, and it's coming from you yourself. So have you ever had like an article written about you, like from the Chronicle or anything have you ever had a critic? I don't think I've ever been critiqued publicly. I guess that's what I was asking. Like, how do you think you're going to respond to a critic who's not a musician? Oh,
I probably won't care.
Okay.
If it's not a musician, like if you're not a musician, like when a musician critiques me, I will take it really seriously.
Yeah.
Or like when like maybe like a promoter or like someone who is in the industry.
Yeah.
It'll deeply affect me because I will give a lot of truth to it. And deeply affect me in the sense that like I will sit on it for sure.
Yeah.
But like someone else, like, I don't know, dude. That guy's just doing his job. And then I'd just be like that. Like I would find a way to deflect it.
Yeah.
Like that. That's what I would do.
I just think we're coming to
I just do it.
we're just coming to an age where everyone is a critic on social media. Like you have.
Well, so are you, right?
Well, sure, yeah, true.
Jack White hater.
Listen, if he has a podcast, he can tell me how much he hates Resolute Media. That's fine too. That would be awesome. That would be great. That would be fantastic. But it seems everyone now has the ability to take whatever ideas in their head and put it on social media. I don't necessarily know if that's a good thing because we're navigating this new thing called the internet. But it's also, I just feel like there's people who have a large pull in what they say is popular and good, even though they're not in that industry, like influencers. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
They have the ability to ascend a company because they say, hey, this company's awesome.
Ascend an artist. You know,
I don't necessarily know if that's a good thing or bad thing. So when it comes to people saying like your videos aren't good or your music's not good, like how do you process that? Especially when you have an imposter syndrome.
I think
like, do you let it affect you or it's just like,
you just got to make the videos better.
Yeah. That's another thing. Like if they say the video sucks, so okay, well, all right, I just need to do my job and be undeniable that the video's better.
Right, like that's what I do for my songs at least, because like I said, make the videos better. Then I was like that. I didn't mean like I love your I love your videos, obviously. Yeah,
because they're all about you. Yeah. You love watching yourself.
But there's always going to be people who don't like it, right? Like, I don't even like some of the stuff I release after the fact, and you know, that's a problem. But that is because it's got to be better. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like if I don't subjectiveness comes into play only when you get yourself to level playing field, and I just think that like you just can always be better. Like we can always I'm always sure that I haven't written the best song I can write. Like
sure.
I always know it. And then I think people will be really honest with you about that, because it takes a split second for someone to like or dislike something that you made creatively that took you months or a year, right? So
that's the worst feeling ever.
Yeah, right. So there is a truth to, like, the criticism might not be incorrect, even though the product isn't bad or something. It's just about figuring out how to make both of those things work. Yeah. So that's probably how I would respond to the criticism.
Okay.
Like that.
Going back to Friends.
Yeah.
How did you get that spot?
I got a job as a door guy there.
Oh, you were a door guy first.
Yeah, I begged them to hire me. I went back like 3 times. Please. I was like, dude.
I will kick drunkards out for nothing.
I was like, I'm going to have to move home. Like, my mom was like, no, you're not moving home. I wanted to go back home. I was like, this was a mistake. My mom was like, no, you have to do your, because I had paid 3 months to live on my friend's floor.
Oh.
So I was living in his living room on a mattress on the floor.
Did you, so what kind of mattress? Like a
IKEA,
twin?
like an IKEA queen.
Oh, okay. You had a queen. Okay.
Yeah, because it was a roll-up IKEA mattress. You know, bro, I didn't open it till I got there, and then we slipped it open, and it like shot into the room.
And so you're living on the floor.
So I was living on the floor, which was like fun. It was part of the. I was in a bad spot back then though. Like
you were truly living the musician life.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I got a job as a door guy, and then I just was like, let me play. And then they let me play. I went up at the Blues Jam. I did all right, and then I played in front of Tommy, and his dog vibed with me, and I'm convinced that's why he gave me a gig.
The dog.
Yeah, there's a picture.
Like
a picture that's going up at Friends of Tommy's dog. My first gig ever at Friends.
Okay.
They're putting it up on the wall. It's a picture of Tommy's dog sitting there and just like watching me play. It's my first time ever.
What kind of dog?
I don't know. His name's Yakul. He's very cute dog.
All right. Okay.
So he's not a German Shepherd, but he's like one of those dogs. Something in that he looks kind of like that, or like a lab, like a Shepherd lab kind of.
Sure. Got
one
it.
of those
okay.
kind of things.
All right. Yeah. So the dog picked you.
I think that's what happened, because Tommy was like such a sucker for the dog at that point in time, and so then I started playing, and then I just asked for every gig.
Yeah.
I played like, dude, there was one time at the beginning.
So you're pretty relentless. Just
yeah,
like,
relentless, dude. I would play like 12 hours of gigs in a day, like just bang, 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 just nonstop for noon to 2 a.m. Like just all day. Go to one bar, come back, play at Friends. Go to another bar, play there, come back, play another show at Friends. Like, and Tommy would just feed me gigs, and I was just like, let me play and just figure out these kinks on stage myself.
That's
because I'm one of those people that like I need to figure it out myself, but you can only figure it out when you're playing, right? So
you know who else did that?
Who?
The Beatles.
Right.
You're kind of like
Munich. Yeah.
You're kind of like the Beatles, Nico.
No, I'm really not like the Beatles at all. But
you're exactly like the Beatles. I think that's what I'm hearing.
I'm gonna miss the train, Ringo.
So
imagine.
You're playing.
I just watched Dewey Cox. You ever see that movie?
Yeah, no, I haven't. I refuse. I remember back in the day when that first movie came out. I refused to watch that movie because he was making fun of Johnny Cash,
yeah,
and I'm still a big Johnny Cash
Walk
fan.
hard.
Dude, I was like, how dare you make fun of a living legend? I also wanted to watch it because Jack White was in there.
Jack White plays Elvis.
Yeah, I know.
He's so.
I'm like,
he's actually so funny in that movie.
So you're playing all these shows at Friends. What is the what's it like to playing to people who just walk in off of Dirty Six, which is a shit show to begin with?
It's getting better though, isn't it?
Is it really?
I find.
I don't know. I've been down there a few times with Joe
We're trying to
Begley.
take a public stance against calling it Dirty Six.
So. Oh, okay.
I'm gonna.
What-
You mean
so
the new?
What
old
do you
6th
What do you
Street?
do? Like, yeah.
You
How,
mean the new old 6th Street?
how are you handling the unhoused in? I'm kidding.
Dude, with my foot mostly. No, that's not very untrue. I'm. It's a very sad situation.
It is.
Here's the thing. I'm there all the time.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
I end up becoming just like friendly with them.
They're humans. They're
they
people.
love music.
Yeah,
right?
they're
they
humans.
like music.
They're
They hang
people.
out. They're all like nice. I don't want to say they're fans, but because they live outside the bars, they happen to hear me play a lot. So
I just don't like it when they tell me they're gonna kill me because I'm gonna
those
take
ones
their-
like I'm up. But here's the thing: it's like I'm not really out at night until after the bars close, so I don't
Yeah.
see the crazy ones. The ones that are like roaming the streets, I don't see because I'm inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're playing at Friends. What? I don't know where I was going with this, but the first time when I slid into your DMs and asked you, one of the first shows that I remember seeing you play
Was that Friends? I called you.
Yeah, it was
Friends.
at Friends, and then you
How
lit,
was that one?
you
It was
lit the
fun.
cigarette backwards, and I'm like, oh, this guy doesn't know he's lighting his cigarette backwards. And
Did I do that?
yeah, you did.
Wow,
I
that's
think
not
I have.
cool at
That's
all.
not. You were trying to be cool. Like I was trying to, and like when I saw it in the moment, I wasn't gonna make fun of you, but I knew if we continued our relationship afterward, I would definitely bust your balls about it.
It's been a year.
It's been a long time. Yeah.
It's been more
but-
than a year. It's been like almost a year and a half.
How has the evolution of Friends evolved since you've been there? Like anything interesting to talk about? Is it cooler? Is it better?
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it more now.
Oh.
I think it's really become a communal spot.
Do you? So here's what I was getting at. So it's kind of like not a touristy, but there's a lot of tourists that walk up and down 6th Street.
Yeah.
Or that part of 6th Street. Do you know when like you're playing to some? Can you spot a tour? Not a
You can
tourist.
spot a French Canadian when you walk in the bar. That's for like almost 100% of the time.
And so you just connect with them like, hey.
I'm just like, hey, salut.
But when you're playing to someone who walks off the street, are you cognizant of like, hey, let me try to reach this guy by my music in some form or fashion? Does that go through your head at all? Or you're just playing the music?
Yeah, it goes through my head for sure. It's weird because you're like always you're like the whole point of the job. The reason it's always fun, the reason I play so much really is because it's like 300 people a night of turnaround, and you're constantly
Right.
trying to grab them.
Yes. Yeah.
And with your songs too. So like it, or a cover that will make them like, you know,
guys,
we're not just out there like throwing random songs that we know people are going to tip us for. Like we're playing our music, which is why it's really fun, or some version of something that speaks to us or connects to us, because they're long shows. They're like at some point
3 hours,
yeah,
right?
and you get like it's really fun to play.
And
some
how
songs.
long are your breaks? 10 minutes?
No, we have no breaks there. 3 hours nonstop.
You're just straight up on stage.
3 hours nonstop.
Jesus.
Yeah, those gauntlet shows, dude. Those like I used to do. It's called Friends Day Camp.
Yeah.
That's noon to 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. with 45 minutes of breaks.
That's just a fucking marathon. Jesus.
It's so fun though. Like you do it once, you do it twice, maybe. Jade has done it. I know Jade has done it.
really?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay.
I'm sure others have too.
But go back to trying to grab those people's attention.
It just makes it keeps you on your toes.
Yeah.
Because if you fuck up, you just watch them walk in and then walk out. And you're like,
Damn.
yeah, that's on me, bro. That's on me for sure.
I just lost a follow.
Yeah, that's on me for sure. So, yeah. And then, I don't know. That's why I like it. Because I find the conversion of it works. Like, our Spotify international numbers are like way bigger than they should be.
That's awesome.
Because,
Yeah.
you know, people from every tourist who comes through Austin in 2024 has probably seen me, just because they've gone to 6th Street and I've been playing at like that's obviously a gross exaggeration, but like I'm always there, like I'm always playing, and just it's the first bar on the strip, so it's like, and it's the best one, dude. The music there is always so good.
I remember, yeah. Anytime I'm down that way, I try to just pop in to see if you're playing. Popped in a few times. You weren't playing. Paul Val was playing there, and he rips.
Wow, dude.
Yeah,
He rips.
turns out he's from Riverside, California, where I'm from as well.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
He's a Southern Cali boy.
Yep.
I forgot.
Yeah,
You're right. He is.
but
You
yeah,
know, he
rips it.
looks flagrantly Mexican.
He does.
Yeah.
Now, talk about the release of Train Song and the Night at Friends when a special someone came up on stage.
Well, yeah. So,
How'd that evolve?
well, he pops in a lot.
Regularly?
Yeah.
Okay. Because you're just playing there and he's
No,
like,
I mean, just because he can
move
do whatever the
aside,
fuck he
Nico.
wants, dude. He's like
That's true.
He's literally like the Prince of Austin.
right.
In the coolest way.
So let's back up. When did you first hear about Gary Clark Jr.?
Like hear about him?
Yeah.
I was probably like. I knew about him before I played guitar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I really liked the Come Together mix he did. Like, I really liked that remix. I want to say that's what got me into listening to Gary Clark Jr.
Sure.
And then I loved Catfish Blues. So
Who doesn't? Good song.
like, I would say my intro to him is the intro that many people had to him in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Like, if you weren't listening to music in like the early like 2010s.
You cover one of his songs, Travis
County.
Travis County, that's
Yeah,
right.
Travis County.
Which you do a good job at.
He's told me I have to stop covering his songs.
Why?
Because he thinks I'm doing it to like show off to him. I'm not. I'm doing it because I love the
Yeah,
songs.
you're paying respect to him.
Yeah, but he's like, don't. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not.
So
I just want to make it clear. I play those songs because they're good songs, dude. They're not. It's not because he's there.
Right? Yeah. I mean, they keep the energy up. But
Dude, Travis County's a great. And then I played into Houses a Rockin', and it's like.
when did you first meet him?
At working the door at Friends.
And was it?
They had to.
Did you fanboy out?
Yeah,
Essentially?
Tommy had to specifically tell me I wasn't allowed to speak to him until I was cut. Because
Until you were what?
Until I was cut. Like they cut me from the ship. Like until I was no longer working. Like until you get cut. Like another door guy will come in and cut you.
Oh,
And
okay.
They were like, you're not allowed to talk to him because they were worried I was gonna freak him out because I was so excited to see him.
I see when I heard cut, I'm like, oh, like cut you for good, like they do in football. Like, hey, cut.
No.
Okay.
Until I was cut, like from the.
And then you could go bother him at the bar when he's just trying to be by.
And then I did immediately.
What was your first interaction with him? You remember it?
We had a cigarette. And then I told him I was from Montreal. He brought up Montreal bagels, and I was like, we're locked in. We're locked in for life now. And I guess, yeah.
So when you first, I want to elaborate on that conversation because he's kind of a big deal, and I guess
I don't remember exactly what was said. I just remember, saying to him, "He's the reason I moved to Austin."
Yeah,
he was.
And you don't want to spaz out on
I did, and I did every single time for a year straight that I hung out with him. I was just not cool. I was just, dude. When I was in, when we were in LA, we went to a bar afterwards. After Crossroads, I went to a bar. It was like me, him, and his team, and like Ivan Singh. It was a really, really fun night.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna buy everyone shots because I think I'm cool. My card got declined, and Gary was like, that wasn't cool at all. That was not cool at all, bro. I was like, fuck.
Yeah, that kind of sucks, but. It seems like, again, I go back to the idea. You never really want to meet your idols because you never want to get disappointed. You turned out you met your idol.
He's become more like he's like the nicest man. He has been so incredibly generous with his time and his insight and his patience with me as like a young gun who is just really trying to figure it out.
Yeah,
I think he likes the spark for sure. Like. But I'm very thankful that man is as kind as he is and has given me the time of day that he has. One
of the first videos I ever made here in Austin was going to a Gary Clark Jr. show at Antone's on 5th and the old location. And
the one on Brazos?
5th in I think it was Guadalupe or 5th in anyways, it was at the other location.
It was West?
Yeah.
Really?
It was before he blew up. I went in there. I forgot who opened for. Anyways,
how long ago was this?
This was 10 years ago. This is when I first had a camera.
Longer.
I might have been living still in San Marcos and just
10 years ago. He was like, already pretty big.
Well, maybe 15 whatever
15
it
years
was.
ago, he was like, yeah.
I just got my Canon T3i and I was going to the Antone show just because Gary Clark Jr. was there, and I filmed him and I made like a little terrible highlight video, and I thought it was so cool because I used the raw camera audio. It was so shitty, and then I remember emailing him via his website thinking that something good would happen. I'm like, oh, this is the best video ever. I'm gonna email him this video and he's gonna sign me on, blah 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 blah. And then I went back and watched it like 2 months ago. I'm like, this is absolutely embarrassing.
Terrible, yeah.
I can't believe I sent this to him. And it's just, but he's such an interesting character, and the fact that you were able to fanboy out on him, spaz out on him, and
I've never
literally
seen someone give people. This man, he's either the most well PR trained person I've ever met. He's very nice, bro. He gives everyone the time of day.
Yeah,
like,
that's
he's
awesome.
a very nice celebrity, which is not necessarily always the case.
Right.
But yeah, he's like, people will talk to him about stuff and he'll
He'll be engaging.
Yeah, he'll listen and talk with them.
That's awesome to hear, because every time
It's inspiring, bro.
Well, yeah, the people that I want to meet, I'm like, I don't want to meet him because what if they're a dick, and then I get my emotions hurt or feelings hurt emotions.
Yeah, and when you meet someone who's not like that, it fucking leaves and like
right. It leaves
a couple people who I met who were just so kind, and I was like I'm gonna like you, even if you're not a fan, you immediately become a fan when someone's nice
right.
to you.
Absolutely,
like that.
yeah. And I'm so glad that happened to you. Now, talk about that night when he came up on stage with you. Did you have any like realization, like, holy shit, here I am releasing this single?
Well, I've played with him before.
I know, but
it's never been like that. Like, it was obviously like, we're releasing the song, the place is packed, every person I know is in that room.
Right.
My brother was there, so
oh, shit.
Because he had came down for vacation with his girlfriend, and yeah, so it was just. I saw that Gary was there. I saw him earlier that day there, and then I saw him later. And dude, I don't know. He was just we were like, I was like, I'm going up and playing. He was like, great. I was like, I dropped the song today. He was like, did you? I was like, yeah. He was like, are you excited? I was like, yeah. He was like, because I don't see him like, I'll see him when he's in town.
Sure.
Tour,
yeah.
Right. So the day to day of our lives, it's like, I'm not like texting this man.
No. I get it. But
yeah. So, but yeah, and then he stuck around, and he was cool that night, man. That was a special night.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't know how else to.
How long did you play that night?
3 hours.
Holy shit.
He was up there for 20 minutes with us, just talking shit.
Yeah.
Just on the mic talking shit like the unk that he is now.
And then
justifiably talking shit. I told him the song was in the wrong key. Can you believe that? I told him I forgot what song we were playing, so I kind of like got like really wrapped up in the
moment.
In the moment.
Yeah.
And Jade plays the same bass line for 2 songs, and I just forgot which one we were playing. So I told him it was, but they're both in, anyway, whatever. I'm going to get reamed for that, but.
So what did you take away from that night?
It was just really cool. It was very like, I don't know.
Thanks for inviting me too.
Yeah. Were you not there?
No.
Oh, were you not?
No. You didn't invite me.
Oh, what?
You didn't tell me anything about this.
I didn't.
You invited me to your Antone show.
Because I thought first of all, we all thought that one was going to be the show of the weekend. The Antone, like it was supposed to be like a pre-show party, and my bad.
Yeah.
There was too much going on that weekend, bro. I'm sorry.
Sure. Okay.
My brother was staying with me. I was sleeping on my sofa. I gave him my room, so it was like.
Oh, that's not. Is he older?
Yeah, he's.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
He was
respect.
with this girl.
Yeah.
I wanted them to have a good experience.
Awesome. Good for you.
Yeah. Oh, I could eat some barbecue after this, low key.
Nice. Well, we got to. I don't think anyone's open right now, but yeah, that's pretty much an hour, dude. We crushed it. That's an hour 10.
Is it?
Easily. Yeah.
This was super fun.
Thank you.
I feel like I didn't wrap up that night. I'm having trouble finding the words to say how cool it was to me, because I don't want to be like, that was the fucking best, that was the shit, because I don't want to sound like like, I don't know why that happened. I don't know why it always goes down like that. I don't know why he even gives, like, I don't know why he even cares. So it's really fucking awesome. Like, I don't know how else to say it without sounding like a lame.
I would say he probably cares because of his experience and how certain things were probably terrible and shitty, and how, you know,
he grinded it out, dude. Like,
yeah, exactly.
So he rode that, dude.
He understands where you're coming from.
6th Street as a musician from like when he was 15, he started doing it,
yeah,
or some shit like that. Like, so I don't know. It's like, it's just cool to. Honestly, that night really reminded me just how cool it is to be doing what we're doing. Like, this city is awesome. We're on the circuit. It's like, it's awesome. Don't take it for granted. Work hard. There are bands who make it out. There are bands who don't. You know, that's part of the game. You just give it your best. You'll see what happens.
Right. I think,
and it's currently going better than I ever thought it would, so I'm just happy. You know?
Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted. That's why I wanted to do all this music stuff, is because I do feel like there's something that is
brewing.
There's something that is brewing.
Absolutely.
There's something.
The pressure cooker in Austin, dude.
Yeah,
yeah. There's so many good artists, and there's so many people that really want to, like, actually make it.
Yeah.
So it's just fierce competition.
It's not necessarily about making it, but it's also about sustainability.
Whatever making it means to you. Making it, I mean making it, not like making it, like making it, like whatever building that career means to you. Like, actually physically making it into something that can pay your bills.
Yeah, sustainability. That's that's the thing I want to be a part of, is like, I want to be in this economy that's sustainable for musicians, so that when, you know, cool concerts come into town, like, hey, let's hire Resolute Media so we can cover the cool shit, and you know he's going to get it done. But it's just like 2020 took an impact on the live music, you know, industry, I feel like.
Has to have.
And
I'm surprised some of these bars are still even.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of them got wiped out.
And I think that's part of why I want to do this stuff, is because I want to see Continental Club and C-Boys go the distance. I'm tired of seeing all these apartment buildings come up, even though it's a cool thing. Everyone wants to be in this, you know, in this city.
I don't think they're going anywhere. Like, I really don't.
Yeah. But it's also like, I want to preserve the coolness of the city, and I want to make sure that the coolness of Austin just is going to be around for a long time. And that's the whole point of this. And I want good people to have the success I want good people to have the exposure that they deserve, and the quality of content that they need to make it in the industry and survive. So,
absolutely. Yeah.
I want you to be well fed and pay your bilils, Nico. So that way you could fucking pay me more, you dude. Fucking scumbag.
What?
Anyways, all right, that's it. That's all I got. Anything else? Any last words?
No, this was super fun.
Cool. Thanks
for having me.
Well,
man.
thank you for being on time.
I never noticed your the other one. Is that a violin?
It's a cello.
It's a cello.
Yeah, I got this when I was 18.
Or is it a standing bass? Or it's a cello?
It's a cello and a standing bass. It was a long time ago when I actually really playing drums. Well, thank you.
I think it's really cool.
From what's the word? From a technical standpoint, it's pretty bad. But
it's certainly like the lines are thick, but it's got like it's so New Orleans looking. It's really cool.
Yeah, I got it when I was 18, and I thought I was going to be a drummer professionally.
Do you drum?
I was 18. That was years ago.
There's a garage and there's no drum.
Yeah, there's other things I've
like the SWAT rack.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right, dude, that's it. Cool.
All right, cool.
Thank you so much.